A rapper who is among those who were shot and killed in a gun battle in downtown Atlanta, with 3 others dead and injured as well.
Atlanta police say the video posted on Instagram appears to show what happened. You can see people scattering last night as shots were fired after the fight outside of the business went out into the street. Responding officers returning fire while trying to intervene in that fight. 11 Live's Natasha Givens has the latest.
Well, this is an active crime scene with 2 parking lots partially roped off and GBI investigators still here on scene. This shooting made national headlines as officials confirmed one of the 3 people shot and killed was rapper King Von from Chicago, who was here last night with friends.
2 groups of individuals got into a physical altercation. That physical altercation escalated into an exchange of gunfire.
APD says the gun battle took place in 3 different spots near Trinity Avenue, where a total of 6 people were shot. 3 have died. One of them, a rapper Davon Bennett, who goes by the stage name King Von. His social media pages have been filling up with RIP messages and other artists sending their condolences. GBI says King Von and a group of men left Opium nightclub and went to Monaco Hookah Lounge early Friday morning. Investigators say after they arrived, 2 men approached the group in the parking lot and an argument ensued. From there, shots were fired. Investigators say APD officers nearby responded and both fired shots. But it's unclear if the men who were killed and hurt were hit by the officers' gunfire or the 2 groups. Aside from King Von, no other victims' identities have been released. There is speculation on social media that another rapper may have been involved in the initial argument and shooting, but investigators have not confirmed that. And we're told no officers were injured during the shooting, but they say there was a 7th victim who was struck by a car during the altercation. That driver did not stop. Right now, police say they are reviewing surveillance video and conducting interviews. We'll bring you the latest details as they become available.
All right, peace, everybody. Right now, I'm at a very sad location. Right now, I'm at a very sad location. This is the exact spot in front of the club. This was a hookah lounge where King Von was murdered not long ago. And I just had 2 cousins in the past couple years. One was like a blood member. One was, a straight-laced guy. And both of them were shot by trap music fans. One was shot by a fellow blood. One was shot by somebody that he knew and grew up with. And they were both, young men. And so I just wanted to come to this location here. This is the Monaco Hookah Lounge, just so people can see. It's just like people can't even chill out a hookah lounge. It's like, since when is a hookah lounge a gangster hangout? So just the state of hip hop right now is like really out of control. As far as being a black male rapper and producer and all that stuff, I don't even want people in Atlanta to know I do rap, because it's like people are getting killed for nothing, and King Von's the same cat. Him and his homie were at the Varsity shooting up the Varsity, and when the Varsity got shot up, I was worried about that. I remember there used to be Out of Control right behind the Varsity, where I first learned I first saw the flare scratch. I first saw Robbie DJ Detail used to go by C's, and Rob Wonder goes by Rob Wonder now. He invited me out there. Him and Clever and JC and all these people used to throw parties there. They used to do DJ battles.
A Chicago rapper faced an Atlanta judge today, 4 months after a shooting at the Varsity. We streamed the hearing live on our WSB TV News app as it happened. And new at 5, Channel 2's Lori Wilson learned new details about how money, jewelry, and cars could all be tied in with this shooting. Lori is live downtown near the Varsity. Lori?
Jovita, rapper Lil Durk turned himself in after a shooting across the street in the parking lot of the Varsity. A detective on the stand today said the rapper, who is used to being in front of the cameras, was actually caught on cameras at the Varsity, the BP here, and other businesses that put him at the scene of the crime. Right before rapper Lil Durk turned himself into Atlanta police, he gave Channel 2 Action News investigative reporter Mark Winnie an exclusive interview.
You're about to surrender as we speak.
Yeah.
How come?
Because I have nothing to hide.
Like, I have nothing to run from.
2 weeks later, Dirk, whose real name is Dirk Derek Banks, and his co-defendant, Devontae Bennett, were in court hearing APD Detective Jeffrey Churchill lay out evidence against them.
I spoke to a witness who was there at the scene when the incident took place.
Churchill said the witness told him she was standing outside talking to Banks and Bennett in front of a cigar bar around 5 in the morning, February 5th, when they saw a fight in the car in front of them.
Mr. Banks pulled out a weapon. They hear gunfire.
Banks and Bennett sat and listened to the evidence against them as prosecutors worked to make the case that this was gang-related.
Do you know Mr. Banks to be self-admitted member of the Black Disciples criminal street gang organization?
Yes.
Prosecutors say Banks and Bennett are members of Chicago gangs, that they knew the victim, Alexander Witherspoon, had $30,000, an expensive chain, and a nice car, and that's why he was targeted. Banks' attorneys tried to create doubt that the rapper did any shooting.
You don't see Mr. Banks shooting on the street at any time. The only time you believe he was shooting is when he was in the camouflage Jeep, correct?
That's the only time I could see him shooting.
After 2 hours in court testimony and statements by prosecutors and defense, the judge ruled there is enough evidence for the case to go to trial.
This court finds probable cause.
The judge found probable cause to move forward with all of the charges against Banks and Bennett, including criminal intent to commit murder as well as criminal gang activity. They'll be back in court in a month to ask for bond.
But yeah, right now we're on Trinity. We're on Trinity Street. Which is deep, symbolic name, but we're on Trinity Street. And, King Von was kind of he was kind of like a prince in as far as, gang culture. And, this isn't a post about, trying to hype up, the gang violence stuff. But, a lot of these people have blood on their hands, like Akademiks, even Trap Lord Ross at this point. I used to watch his, hip hop history things and all that stuff. But, now he's just, 2 days or a day before Von was just murdered right here. Akademiks was, had interviewed him, and then, Trap Lord had just dropped a 3-part series, multi-part series. And right now it's just really sickening and revolting at this point what's happening with hip hop. And, I shouldn't have to live in fear to be an artist, none of my, Caucasian or Asian artist friends have to worry about getting gunned down, I don't know anybody else that's getting gunned down and stuff like that for petty things, I think, he was coming out of his car and the guy bumped into him and there was beef, and then the other guy had people already set up with guns and they started shooting, and then cops started shooting, and I think 2 to 3 people got killed here, right here at this exact location I'm at. So for everybody that's just coming in, I'm at the Monaco Hookah Lounge, and this is the exact spot where King Von got murdered like a month ago. And I just had 2 cousins that got murdered with gang violence. So I'm gonna start writing a lot of letters to people like 21 Savage, and he just had his brother get stabbed. He's got the knife in his head, in his forehead, and his brother got stabbed. So it's like, what's going on? There's a lot of dark stuff going on in hip hop right now. So everybody that's just coming in the room, I'm right in front of the Monaco Hookah Lounge. This is where King Von got murdered. This is in Atlanta. This is where King Von got murdered like a month or so ago, right? He got murdered. A couple other people got murdered. All this crazy senseless violence is out of control, and the radio stations are definitely culpable, and the FCC is definitely culpable, because it's no other group of people is being targeted like this. It's we had decades and decades of Italian gangsters, but there was never a coordinated multi-billion-dollar marketing push to get Italian Americans to continue to be gangsters and to proliferate gangster behavior. But that's what's happening in the black communities, is that all these labels are owned by European diaspora people, and they also own stocks in prisons and things like that. So it's just like a really, really messed up situation what's happening. And and even though I'm saying rest in peace to King Von, King Von was also a part of the problem. He was, even though he was born into being kind of a gang prince or whatever, his father starting a prominent Chicago gang, he could have stepped out of that lifestyle, but he didn't step out that lifestyle. He kept it going, and he got murdered right here. So this is I'm gonna flip around. So this is a famous, you know, this is a hip hop landmark for all the people that are, you know, all the world star, you know, people and all those people that are kind of like worshiping Black Death. This is what it looks like. This is the neighborhood, just a regular neighborhood. Got people, you know, doing their thing. A beauty salon right next door. It's not even like, you know, deep in the hood or something like that. But, you know, it's just really sad to see what's happening with hip hop. So like I was saying before, I'm going to start writing some letters to different, you know, organizations, different radio stations, different rappers, to stop the violence, because I just had 2 cousins that got murdered, you know. So this is not Club Monaco, this is a hookah lounge, you know. It's like, can't even go to a hookah lounge without getting killed, you know. So this murder happened right outside the hookah lounge on this street, right? And we're right next, you know, we're right by, there's police everywhere, you know. It's like a jail right over here, you know, a Bond's place right over there, you know. It's just crazy, you know. All right. Peace.
Now to some other top headlines from across the metro. Atlanta police have charged the man who they believe shot and killed Chicago rapper King Von. Timothy Leaks is in the hospital but considered to be in police custody. King Von was killed during a shootout between 2 groups outside a hookah lounge in downtown Atlanta Friday morning. Leaks, who was also shot, is charged with murder. 1 other person was killed in the shooting.